You ever check your credit on an app and then they say one thing, then you go to another app, or maybe you go to a credit monitoring site and they say another, or maybe somebody fix your credit, you fix your own credit, and if you get it like 720, then you go to the car lot. When you get to the car lot, they be like, your credit score is 670. And you're like, how is it a 670? I just checked it. Well, I'm gonna break that down for you because a lot of people don't understand about the credit system itself, right? So you got two different organizations. You got the Vantage score and you got the FICO score. Now you may be thinking like, what is the difference between a FICO score and a Vantage score? Oh, I'm gonna throw a quick promo in here. I'm Coop the Credit Coach. Go check me out on YouTube. I got all kind of information on there for you. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. All right, but let me break it down for y'all real quick. All right, so a Vantage score, all right, it's a system. Actually, the Vantage score has more than one system. You got Vantage 2.0, you got Vantage 4.0, which is the newer model, right? The Vantage system was created by the three big bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. This is how they generate your scores with the Vantage score, right? So we call it in the credit space a consumer score, meaning like if you go on Credit Karma, if you get a report pulled from your Experian app or you pull from your Experian app or something like that, those are what they call Vantage scores. Now, the two big key things on there, although it's 5 data points, the two key ones is your credit history and your utilization. Now, with the Vantage system, they can use a basic snapshot, meaning like you can have credit for a month or two and they'll take a snapshot of that, and that's how they rate your scores, meaning like they don't have to go and they don't do a real deep dive into your score. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that in a minute. But a Vantage score is pretty much just a consumer score. So the stuff you see on Credit Karma, the Experian app, TransUnion, Equifax, that's all Vantage scores. But your FICO score is different. Now the FICO system, they have more than one system. They got FICO 2, 4, 6, 8, and the new one that everybody talking about is the FICO 10, right? So with the FICO scores, how you get those, the lenders and banks look at those the most, right? You got if you're going to get like a personal loan, if you're going to get like a mortgage loan, if you're getting like a car loan, banks and stuff look at your FICO score. Now, the FICO 8 was the last model. Some banks still use the FICO 4 and the 5, but right now, a lot of people are talking about the FICO 10. So, with the FICO 10, it's a little tricky with this one, right? Because what they're doing is they're doing a 6 month dive on your utilization. The two big ones with them, even though it's 5 data points, is still payment history and utilization. But what I mean why they doing a 6 month dive on your utilization, meaning, everybody trying to get funding, everybody want to buy a house, and we use different methods to get your credit to go up or whatever. But what they're doing is now with the FICO 10, and a lot of lenders not using it yet. Of course, every bank is different. That's why you see a lot of different scores. So check with the bank, find out which FICO system they're using. But with this FICO 10, what they're doing is they checking 6 months back on like your revolving credit, meaning like, are you paying every month just minimal payments, or are you paying to get the balance all the way back down to zero? Why? Because if you just making minimal payments on cards, they're looking at you as a risky lender, opposed to somebody that's making more than what the minimum payment is every month to get it down. So they looking more at more like what's the word I'm looking for? They want to see your spending behaviors, meaning like, are you maxing out that card every month, paying it off, or are you spending on that card responsibly and still making responsible payments, not minimum payments. All right. So, of course, most people know the banks love when you make minimum payments. Why? Because when you make minimum payments, guess what? You really just paying interest. So if you got a maxed out card and your minimum payment just say $100, and you pay that $100, and then when it's time to pay your payment again, you back right back where you started, maxed out, and you paying that 100 again, right? So with this FICO 10, they want to look at your behavior on spending and how you're paying stuff off. All right. So if you spending and you paying more than what you should be paying per month, then you going in the right direction. But if you're paying just the minimum payment, you're going in the wrong direction. So it's going to be harder for people to get houses with good interest rates. It's going to be harder for people to get personal loans with good interest rates. And it's also going to be harder for people to get good auto loans with good interest rates. Why is that important? Why am I even talking about this? Because interest payments, interest rates is what break you. If you don't get your credit to where it needs to be profile wise, whether it's on the consumer side, the Vantage score, or your FICO score, whenever you go to make a purchase, like a major purchase, like a house, car, or get a personal loan, the interest rates are going to be through the roof. So, the two things I would suggest to you guys: make sure you're making the payments on time, and make sure you keeping your utilization reasonable. The new FICO 10, I'm telling you, if you have bad behaviors, a lot of you guys are not gonna get funding, and if you do, the interest rate is gonna be crazy high. All right, so if this was helpful, let me know. Again, go follow me on Instagram, LAC_solutions. Go check me out on YouTube, Coop the Credit Coach, and if you need my assistance with your credit, give me a holler.